penny stock billionaires, the hottest AI stock today. That's right, the hottest AI stock today is Siyata Mobile. The stock is nearly doubled since I told you about it just yesterday. Actually, right here in the park. SYTA is the symbol on NASDAQ. Check it out. We're trading 20 million shares today. The stock went from, I think it was $1.30 yesterday. Today we hit $2.47. So you could have made basically, I mean, nearly a double, but basically a solid dollar on that trade. So again, from $1.33 yesterday to $2.47 today. And again, my thesis for this stock is I believe this could be a potentially a $15 to $20 stock based on their merger with Core Gaming, which is an AI gaming company doing $80 million in revenues. And again, I did a couple of videos on this, and here is the thesis. This is what you need to understand, and the market is figuring this out. That's why Siyata Mobile is exploding right now. Look, the more people realize that this is the reality, you're going to get to that, that valuation gap, which I explained to you yesterday. So here's how it works, right? Here is the opportunity. Here is how you can make potentially 10 times your money. You're going to have to do a little bit of math. Now, here's the deal. Siyata Mobile is merging with Core Gaming. Core Gaming is doing $80 million in revenues. Again, that is an AI gaming company, mobile games for phones and all that stuff. $80 million in revenues. And the market is paying 10 times, the multiples are like 10 to 20 times the revenues. If you look at a stock called App 11, App 11 is trading at 20 times revenues. They're doing $5 billion in revenues, and the stock is trading at a valuation of like $120 billion, right? So 20 times the revenues. I'm not expecting Siyata to trade at 20 times. I think 10 times is the right number. Now, so what that means is this, right? So Siyata Mobile, the shareholders, if you buy Siyata today, you're going to end up with 10% of the combined company after the merger. After the merger with Siyata and Core Gaming, you're going to have 10% of the combined company. But what that means is you're going to have something that's worth, 100 million plus, right? Because if you do 10 times 80, that's $800 million. 10% of that is 80. Plus, they're also, they're growing, so it's going to be more. Now, here is the opportunity. So Siyata Mobile today is trading at, well, yesterday was a $6 million valuation. Today it's a $10 million or $12 million valuation. I haven't checked the math, but that gap between 12 million and 100 million that's your upside. So if you do the math, it's about $15 a share. So I believe as we get closer to this merger, which is going to be probably, from what I understand, it's going to be the next 60 days. The merger is going to be the next 60 days. I think we should get closer to that $15 a share. It's probably going to take a few months after the merger. Now, guys, in case you don't know, look, my name is Jack Marks. I literally wrote the book on 10 bagger stocks. I actually have a copy with me. I'm just going to a meeting. I'm giving somebody an autographed copy, and here is the book, 10 Bagger Blueprint. 10 Bagger Blueprint. You can get this on Amazon, and that gives you my proven system for finding stocks that increase 1,000% or more. Now, I've introduced investors to more 10 baggers than anybody else on Wall Street. We've had about, 13 of these stocks that went up between 10x and 50x. That's right. Some investors made 50 times their money with a stock called CBDT. It was crazy. It ran from a nickel to 250 in like 5 months, maybe 6 months, 4 months. I forget. It was a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Now, I don't think Siyata is going to be a 50 bagger, but I do believe we have a path for this thing to be a $15 stock. So really a 10x from here. Now, look, I think probably, I wouldn't chase this right now. I'd let it maybe pull back a little bit. I think we might pull back maybe to $2 or so for Monday or whatever. But put this on your watch list. Put Siyata Mobile on your watch list, because I do believe that as we get closer to the merger, that valuation gap is going to close. Again, this is my opinion, right? And this is a high-risk stock, okay? This could go to zero. These micro-cap stocks, they could go to zero. You got the merger risk involved. If the merger doesn't go through for whatever reason, then, all bets are off, right? And, of course, all my content here should be considered paid content. So do your due diligence, read the disclaimers. The stock is, it's not for widows and orphans, as they say, okay? It's a high-risk, speculative stock. It's an arbitrage opportunity, okay? Now, look, if you want to know when to buy, when to sell these stocks, get my book. Get 10 Bagger Blueprint. It's on Amazon, okay? Let me show you a copy again. Let me pull it out right here. Here we go. 10 Bagger Blueprint. That's the book. Okay, so 10 Bagger Blueprint. get this on Amazon, and also you're going to understand why you got to look at the stock. It's breaking out of the 50-day moving average. Okay, what is the moving average all about? That's in my chapter on technical analysis. Everything you need to know. So get the book, 10-bagger blueprint on Amazon. Leave a nice review also after you get it, and you make some money. All right, here's to your 100x, my friends.